What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Lace Up Channel. My name's Mickey. I'm sorry I've been gone for so long. It feels like months since I've filmed and recorded for you guys, but I think it's time that I get back to posting every single week. And I've been thinking so long and hard about what my first video back would be. And I've realized that the most important thing to talk about right now is ChatGPT. ChatGPT has completely transformed the way that people do business, but I feel like that transformation hasn't extrapolated yet to the distribution market. And I feel like you guys can really benefit from making an account and utilizing it the right way to make you exponentially more productive. Now, in my case, my workday used to be 8 to 9 hours of tedious work, making proposals, handling objections, sending emails, and ChatGPT has allowed me to make myself double as productive. That's crazy. Me, the person who started this business, is now double more productive. I feel like it is the most dangerous weapon in the world. And I feel like if you use it, you could really scale your business. So today, I'm going to give you the 5 ways that I've used ChatGPT to make myself more productive. And hopefully you can apply that to your distribution company. So let's get right into it. The first thing that I want to talk about is proposals. Now, for me, proposals make up the majority of my time. I speak to a client, see what they need, figure out in my head how I can adjust my system to solve that customer's problems. Now, that process of me writing that on paper normally takes 8 hours to do. But with ChatGPT, I was able to cut that down to 2 hours because I've realized that the majority of my time is spent trying to sound eloquent, trying to sound intelligent, trying to be concise. And that's exactly what ChatGPT is designed to do. So I had this proposal for a customer here in Miami that basically receives electronic goods like Hewlett Packard and Dell. They received those products on pallets with serial numbers, and they wanted to be able to track the serial numbers on those pallets from the time they enter the warehouse to the time they leave. Well, all I had to do was explain the workflow to ChatGPT in a large run-on paragraph. I hit enter. ChatGPT learned like this exactly what the customer does, and within 2 seconds of asking it to spit out a scope and proposal, it did. It literally reads your mind, takes your words, elaborates on your words, grabs from all of its knowledge of having been programmed from information in 2021, and it gives you the most beautiful responses. And then all you have to do is take that information, copy and paste it from ChatGPT into your document and send it into the customer. Now, you're probably thinking, Mickey, isn't that dangerous? No, it's actually something amazing. It might be dangerous for those that have to come up with unique ideas, and now ChatGPT does that for you. But when you have all of the ideas in your head and you're able to plug those into ChatGPT and have it output an end result in seconds, it makes you exponentially more productive. For a spot of context, I used to take 8 hours to write those proposals. Now I only take 2. I've literally become 4 times more productive in that task. But not just that, that's a good segue into point number 2, which is objection handling. Now, objections are the bane of the existence of every sales rep in the world. When you're a sales rep, you get objections like, let me think about it. Let me talk to my wife. Let me mull it over with my partner. I will call you next Wednesday. And we all know that all of these objections end in nothing. And probably, if you were able to overcome 20 to 30% more of those objections, it would probably make a huge difference in your pocket. And for me, it has, because with ChatGPT, after you train it on how the customer works, on what the customer is going to do with your product or service, what they're going to save, how they're going to improve service, how they're going to make it a better customer experience, then ChatGPT can output answers to every objection in the world. So if you're stuck on an objection, a customer that won't close because they're not sure that they can get value from your business, ChatGPT is a great tool. Point number 3, standard operating procedures, SOPs. When you set these up in your business, they're able to be given to new employees, and those employees can read those SOPs and learn exactly how your business operates. Well, writing an SOP is a pain in the ass. It takes forever to write an SOP. Well, with ChatGPT, I was able to plug in some of the processes here in our business for support. And with those processes comes an output. Again, a beautiful text output written that you could copy and paste once again into a Word document and give that in a file to all new employees so that they can be trained much faster. Now, you're not going to save time in the time it takes to train the employee, but it saves so much time in the time to create these SOPs. If you just go into ChatGPT right now and write everything that you do in your business and explain your business as you know it, well, you can just about write an SOP for anything, and you can ask ChatGPT to elaborate on the process. and to make recommendations on the process in ways to improve the process and make it more efficient. It is so damn powerful. Now at this juncture, you're like, okay, Mickey, all of the benefits that you've outlined right now are text related. Well, yeah, ChatGPT outputs only in text. But the cool thing is, not only does it give you the content that you need in the right formatting, in the right language, but also you can ask it to make complex calculations for your business. And this is a good segue into point number 4, complex problems. Dude, this is probably the single most important thing that's made a change to me. I was curious because all of the enterprise WMSs in the world, they have a function to allocate inventory to carts. Now, I'm not going to get into the mechanics of how it works, but I was always confused about how to use volume to project exactly what could go on a cart, which could ultimately go on a truck to make deliveries. The whole goal of this function is to make picking more efficient. So I simply went to ChatGPT. I explained my problem. I told it I want to optimize on a cart what orders can go on the cart, in what sequence they can go on a cart. And you know what? ChatGPT responded like this. Then as I saw its responses, I noticed that some things weren't complete. So I gave it more information, I gave it more parameters, and ultimately I was able to tell it, write the code for me. And it did. It wrote the code that all of these large enterprise WMSs are using to optimize picking, to make picking exponentially more effective. Which means that if I wanted at some point to develop that function, it would only take giving that function to my developers and boom, I'm done so effectively. I've now become a programmer that can take logic that's in my brain, train an AI and have it output code that can be plugged into a system to make it exponentially more valuable. But how does this apply to a distribution company? Well, think about any complex problem you have, whether it's the way your bins are laid out, right? Whether it's the way that your employees process information and submit information, whether it be sales orders or invoices to your system, how could you make that faster? How could you streamline that process and get those transactions out quicker? Well, if you know the problem and you can elaborate it and you can explain it, you can ask ChatGPT for a recommendation, and ultimately it will give you an output that you can use tangibly to improve your business. Point number 5, and perhaps the most important, which you've gotten glimpses of in my previous 4 points, is ideas. The fact that ChatGPT can be programmed to understand your business means that it can give you ideas on how to improve your business. For example, let's say that you are always under purchasing your product, which means that you're underselling your product because your demand, for instance, outweighs your supply. Well, you can input the data of your purchasing into ChatGPT in a simple text file. You could copy and paste a comma-separated list, ask ChatGPT to understand the columns or the fields in that CSV, and it will. And then when you ask it a simple question like, how can I improve my purchasing? Well, it's going to tell you exactly how to set your reorder points. It's going to tell you how to calculate your lead times, how to set the optimum inventory in your warehouse. So things that used to cost a distributor hundreds of thousands of dollars to get are now done through a simple AI tool. Now, it does have its limitations. You can't do infinite characters. I'll go ahead and show right here the character limit. But that being said, the fact that it can understand, transcribe, and digest this information so quickly means that you can ask it any question, you can take actionable decisions on your business. But it's not just about inventory. It's also about your P&L. You can explain to it your employees' salaries. You can explain their output. You can ask it to make unbiased, quantifiable decisions on whether to let someone go because they're not producing enough. So these are all things that I've done with ChatGPT, and that's insane. You've seen all the videos, how to make $1 billion with ChatGPT, but it doesn't really show you how it applies to your business. Now you know. You know how to take ChatGPT, teach it, and you know how to request an output from it. And then you can use that output to make yourself infinitely more productive. I can't express the value in this. Sure, there's risks. There's risks of it giving you an incorrect response, but if you ask it for things that are objective, the probability of it giving you the wrong response is so much smaller, which means that if you can decipher the differences between a right and wrong response, you can train it to give you a better response and ultimately give you the output that you're looking for so that you can make a decision. And these decisions are going to become exponentially more powerful. And I believe that this will transform the world, because if I'm now 100, 200, 300% more productive, that means that I can get 300% more done, as will you. And whether it's in your personal life, in your taxes, in your business, in whatever field of your life, you've got things and obstacles that come up every single way. If you could plug these things into ChatGPT and it can help you, well, guess what? You've just become a more productive human being. And I believe that society will become more productive as a result. I don't know where this goes, but it's definitely going to change the world. And hopefully these are some simple examples that you can use right now to make yourself more productive. Anyways, guys, I'm happy to be back and producing content for you. If you enjoyed that video, go down below, give me a thumbs up, give me a subscribe. And yeah, I really love doing this for you guys, and I'm happy to be back. Anyways, take care.